How is this movie depends on your expectations from the film, which the trailer itself had lowered. If you're just happy with the visuals of your favorite star, you will get satisfied. But if you want more, I think the trailer already answered you. Let's talk. Hello guys, I'm Nona and I just came back from watching Devara Part 1 in Hindi. There were just two Telugu shows near me and both were just houseful. Now the easiest way to review this film is just troll it, call it bad. But if you have even seen one video of mine, you would know I don't do that. That's not my style at all. From the trailers, it was obvious which direction this film is going. And when I was sharing my honest thoughts, there were people saying, how can you judge the film from a trailer? Why you are so negative about it? But now I can say I was right about it. And it was not at all a prediction that I'm happy I got it right. Not at all. I and many others could sense it from the trailer. And it's sad that we were right. It's not like you go in wanting the film to fail. You want the film to prove you wrong. And when I know the film is not for me, it's not trying anything different. It's the same thing we have seen many times. I don't even go and watch those films and review it. That's just not my thing. To go purposely to watch a bad film and then complain about it. But with this film, there was potential. And even after watching the film, I say the same thing. The only difference is now I say it in past tense. It had potential. From the trailer, the visuals and the actions were not really working that well. But you hoped at least the story will compensate for it. And actually the film has substance, but the missing thing is the style. It's just not there. You know, I can imagine Junior NTR listening to the narration of this film and thinking this is the right subject, right film to do after the humongous success of RRR. You can see why he selected this film. But the execution is the biggest flaw of this film. And it's not that it's not done well, but the execution is outdated. The film even fails to get the mass right. And I'm talking about a commercial Telugu film. The action scenes are lackluster. They leave you with zero impact. The cinematography and the VFX is actually well done. They look good, but nothing amazes you. You're not left spellbound. The songs and the background music are just soulless, just forgettable. The sound design and mixing was really average. You couldn't feel it. The screenplay of the film is full of fluff. Honestly, I couldn't understand why you need two parts for this film. If you were really focused, you could have told this story within one film. But the focus is totally missing. The film starts with this unnecessary setup, which by the end of the film, you just forget about. It doesn't even matter. And yet again, that trope, an old man is telling the story of what had happened. And every now and then he'll appear on screen and say, but you don't know this, you don't know that. In those days, like, get done with it. It's become too saturated now. The most interesting part of the film is the world they have created with the 4 villages, what they do next to the sea. But with that also, we don't dive deep into it. No pun intended. Everything just feels very surface level. We don't live with these people. We don't understand their lives. We don't spend enough time with them. And Bharata Jungan says this about commercial films, that most of the times the writing is only done for the hero or maybe the villain. That's it. Same amount of attention and detailing is not given to the remaining characters. And you feel that here. Everyone else are just paper thin. They are just identityless crowd filling the frames. And the script feels like a checklist. There'll be this moment, this moment, this moment, and we'll be just jumping between them. There's no flow to it. And thus, there's no drama. You're not creating any. Characters meet, they disagree, they fight, done. And that's why the film feels rushed. The plot points become so predictable. They set up a twist, which you already know, and then they spend 15 minutes for a character to reveal the twist, which just falls flat. The dialogues, at least in Hindi, was so much on the face. They never felt like dialogue. It felt like every character is just reading the script to tell the audience what is happening, because visually they are not able to do that. Nothing happening in the plot is being earned. We are just reaching these points. It's just given to us hoping something will happen, but nothing really does. There's a saying that this film would have worked 5-10 years ago, but not today. I'm sorry, this film would have worked 20-30 years ago. The most interesting character is of Saif Ali Khan, and that too because of the actor, the intensity he brings, because the writing for it is just bare minimum. He's just the villain, but he adds something more to it. And his character is one of the few ones which are focused. We know what they want, their motivation is clear, thus we understand them better. Devara, the title character, is just meh. He's just that typical hero we have seen millions of times. People just praise him, the enemies just hate him, he's a great guy, that's it. There's nothing more to him. The son cat is actually so much better because Junior NTR gets to do something different with him. There are some interesting characteristics with that. And you can actually count the number of dialogues Junior NTR has in this movie, especially when he's playing Devara. I don't know what to even say about Janhvi Kapoor because she's there just for 15 minutes barely. That includes a dance number she has. Sitting in the theater, I was just wondering, why do you need these dance and songs and unnecessary stuff? I understand if you don't have a good story at all and you just need all of these things to make up a movie, but that's not the case at all. You have a really good story. Just focus on that. Why couldn't the narrative just be about these 4 villages near this coastline? The backstory is so interesting. That small animated sequence, that could have been a movie in itself, with all that history, how these people today are living, what's going on between them, the politics. There's so much to explore here, but the intention intention is missing to even do that. And today you have no excuses that the audience want dance and song and all of this massy movements for the hero. That's not true at all. Recently with Kalki, they did an all-out science fiction film and added those commercial elements which are actually the biggest complaints for the film, that people wanted the film without those things. You had a great team, big actors, star-studded crew, biggest technical names. You had the budget, you had the platform, you had everything. So it's disappointing to see the product that came out of it, because everyone involved with the film as well as the audience, we deserve better. And I understand there will be people who will be satisfied with the film. You got to see your star in a massy appeal, you had a good time for 3 hours, but with that you are just lowering the standard of the star, and that too at a time where there are so many people working hard to raise that standard, which I've talked about in this video, how Telugu cinema is yet again pushing the boundaries for Indian cinema. Surely this film is gonna make money, and I can just hope that with part 2 they actually do something better and raise that standard. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and I will see you next time.